Okay, this is my attempt at part 2. Still in Tosh Park. This building here, which I think NATO spared, which was super nice of them, really solid, is the oldest seismological institute in the region. I think it dates back to 1904, if I'm not mistaken. So that's one of the buildings, and like I said, good job, NATO. Didn't blow it up. Here's a restaurant. I don't know if that's new or not. I'm going to try to take really quickly. I'm going to show you a couple things off this balcony, but it's hard because they've got rails and really loud, bad 80s music on the ice rink. Or playing because people are skating. That is... Okay, that is Tosh Stadium, and there, that's Tito, and over there, I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you probably can. That is to the right of the stadium. I think is a huge indoor-outdoor aquatics center. Again, I think it was 60s by Tito, and I don't know if it was damaged or not. I know it was redone, but it might have just been because it was old in 2010. Okay, now, this is gonna work. As you can see, this entire park, there's like play equipment way over on the other side, tons of play equipment. There's like picnic tables. People bring their dogs here all day and all night, and they all kind of play together off the leash. There's no like dog park, it's just kind of whatever, which is cool. Here's a little bar. This was really, they had a lot of bars and restaurants here since like the 50s and 60s, I think. So I would assume that they were here. I don't know if they were damaged. Okay, so now I'm going to try and show you what was damaged. Okay, hopefully this is gonna work. There's just so much music coming from so many different directions. It's distracting. I'm like walking around this park with this giant camera. Bear with me. Okay. Now, there was nothing anywhere close to being appropriate about this targeting this park, or any of the buildings in this park, as you can probably see by now. All right, it's the stadium again. The building at 10 o'clock, I'm going to show you closer up, is actually the RTS building. The building, part of it. That is the headquarters for Radio TV Serbia. Radio TV Serbia was bombed. You know, it was the infamous bombing of RTS. I'm sure probably all of you have heard of it. But they initially kind of gained, people took notice of the news outlet in 1992, because they were the ones who videotaped, took video of Western media, mainly out of the UK, including Penny Marshall, fabricating images that were sold to the West as being real, and implying that Slobodan Milosevic was committing genocide. If you remember, the skinny looking guys looked like they were in a camp in a cage. What happened was that those images were taken during a media tour given by the former Yugoslavian military that included RTS and Western media, because it was fighting in the area, and they didn't feel comfortable having military just go out and take pictures. It was mainly focused in two different camps, or a prisoner of war camp, which was basically like a high school gym, and a refugee center. One was called Chernobyl. The other one was I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. Chernobyl and I don't know. Anyway, so because they were both doing the video footage, they were able to literally videotape in real time Western media creating these fake images and also simultaneously showing what was really going on because they were in the same media group. Okay, right in front of us now is St. Mark's. It's a huge Orthodox church. It's been there since the 40s. I don't know if it was damaged or not, but I do know that tiny church to the right of it with the blue top was decimated. It's been rebuilt. It was originally built in the 1800s. It's like another Orthodox church, but that was one of the NATO targets. That they felt was necessary to take down the genocidal maniac Milosevic, which was untrue. It's complete false narrative. I'm trying to not say anything that people would wrongfully interpret as I'm walking down here. Okay. To the right is the Children's Theater. It was a children's theater, I think, since the 60s at least. They have children's plays. And that was pretty much destroyed by NATO. Another strategic military target. And, oh, it just gets better. Wait for this. So, yeah, they took down this, they took down that. There were buildings on the other side of the park, too, they did blow up, but they didn't rebuild them. They have a little pile of rubble that they still have that you can go look at, but it's on the other side of the park. It's not really worth videotaping. Okay, so this is a children's theater. I don't know if you can see it. Little images of kids acting. Okay, and this is the infamous RTS. The new and the old. It's still RTS. That on the left was what we blew up. The right part of it was still there, at the time, I think, and they just kind of fixed it. But then that black part is the new part with the windows on it. Now, you know, the claim was that it was a viable target because this was like part of the military operation of Milosevic. The problem with that claim, see how small that building is? Let me try to get around so you can see it. It's very small. Is that between April 10th and April 20th, this building was bombed April 23rd, 99. CNN was broadcasting on the third floor terrace of this building. This building was not only housing RTS, it was housing various Western media organizations, including CNN. So if you saw any of the footage of the Belgrade bombing from CNN, you would probably see this background, because they were right there on the third floor broadcasting. What happened was they got a call from London, I guess was, from what I understand, the reporters here in Belgrade, that they had to immediately leave the location, and they should also advise anyone that they cared about to do the same. And so they weren't scheduled to leave that location. They just abruptly got up and left. So then, of course, the people at RTS realized that there was something going on. Then, in the early morning of April 23rd, that's when NATO attacked it. They weren't live. They were playing like a pre-recorded video of Milosevic or something. Dozens of people injured, dozens of people killed. Let me just quick show you that memorial up there if I can. I think lists all the victims of the bombing, and has a kind of a photo So, I mean, a couple key things here. One is that I kind of want to, the purpose of me making these videos for a couple reasons. One is to get people to understand this is what the US and the globalists do everywhere they go. This isn't just Serbia. This isn't just a former Yugoslavia. This is Afghanistan. This is Iraq. There is a park in Iraq like this. Park in Afghanistan. So Libya. They have the same MO. They divide within the country and they go in and restore the order. And they also create chaos and then they restore the order. And they lie to everybody about why they're doing what they're doing. I know for Yugoslavia in particular, it was planned long before 1991 that they were going to break up the country because it's a very strategic region for a number of reasons. One is it's a very strategic region on the country on the Balkan route, which is one of the main ways in which opiates are trafficked from Afghanistan. And also they just want a military base in this country and they didn't have one. Okay, it's in Sterling, but see that, so you can see the top, April 20, is it? Glasses, 23rd, okay. I think these are names. And there's a picture of it on the bottom. Some of the other targets that they hit by accident was the Chinese embassy, if you remember, but also suburban Sofia, Bulgaria, which is a good 200 miles from Belgrade. Like, just accident. So, one of the other reason why I want to talk about it, the other reason why, there's a number of reasons why I think this is very important to go through, because I mean, like I said, I have a connection to this area, and this is one of their target regions over our lifetimes. I think it's important to really show you exactly what they do, and maybe then we'll wake people up. The second reason is kind of okay, historically, people within this region, in all the Balkans, had lived an extremely long time. Something in the genetics. For instance, my grandmother lived till she was 99. My Uncle Si lived till he was 98. And Uncle Porky lived till he was 99. What happened after the bombing is that people started getting certain types of cancer at a far higher rate than they've ever seen before, particularly cancer such as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And a lot of people on both sides, people that were fighting for NATO and also people within this region, are trying to sue NATO for damages because of the illnesses that they attribute to the bombing, because of the use of cluster bombs and the depleted uranium. And of course, you know, NATO's denying all of it and says it's junk. These claims were made in 1990 in Israel, with Israeli bombing into Lebanon. They were ignored too. But again, I cannot prove this one way or the other. But if you look at the World Health Organization website and you look at the country with the highest rate of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, the state of Israel. Number 2, Lebanon. Because cancer doesn't care if you're Arab or Jew, or Serb, or Croat, or Bosnian. The depleted uranium used then, I would suspect, is the same used here, and is causing the same types of cancer. Which of course particularly irritates me, because my mom had stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and she was given a death sentence. Unfortunately, she didn't die. But it's no joke. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to do one last one to try and provide sort of some quick media clips to give you an understanding what I was talking about with respect to the, you know, some of the things I talked about. Okay. This works.